Hi, today my group and I will be presenting about Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. The term of whistleblowing is often used when an employee of an organization makes a disclosure regarding the wrongdoing of the company, which could be in the form of corruption and fraud. Did you know that actually the term of blow the whistle is used by British police force, since the whistle was a significant tool in alerting the public about a wrongdoing taking place such in organizations, misstatements and fraudulent behavior. Whistleblowers are different from informers and complaints. They do not have any own interest and receive no benefits for their disclosures to maintain their status. In comparison, the complainers usually seek favor or benefit from the information they provide.
As for introduction, Henry Kupsky is the first whistleblower in history. He defected to the Grand Duchy and soon began exposing Ivan regime in 1564. Next is Edward Snowden, the most famous whistleblower. He revealed the existence of previously highly classified intelligence gathering surveillance program run by NSA in 2013. Based on the above cases, we know whistleblowing is not new to Malaysia. In 2018, the nation ratified the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, which called for signatories to consider providing protection against any unjustified treatment of any person who reports any offences to the competent authorities. As a result, the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 had been established due to this issue. The enactment of the Whistleblower Protection 2010 to encourage and facilitate disclosure of improper conduct in the public nor in the private sectors. Under the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010, there are three limbs consist of protection of confidential information, immunity from civil and criminal action, and protection from detrimental action.
Okay, how to encourage whistleblowing? The first one, we must provide a variety of reporting channels. Whistleblowing reporting channels, which are limited in scope, may prevent staff from raising concerns in the workplace. Providing employees with a variety of reporting methods, including internal and external reporting channels, will increase accessibility and provide assurance that your organization is treating concerns seriously. The second one, having confidentiality. One of the main reasons why staff fail to speak up is the perceived consequences of doing so. It is vital that staff are fully aware that they can raise concerns in a safe, supportive environment and in the knowledge that their confidentiality will, wherever possible, be protected. A fully independent and external whistleblowing provider will serve this purpose. The third one, there must be a platform to manage concerns and strengthen risk management. Many companies have offices in multiple locations, both locally and globally. As a result, staff who are entrusted to manage concerns are often situated in different locations. Best practice should involve systematically collecting the data across the whole organization and securing the data on one platform. A corporate platform will ensure full visibility and control of your staff concerns from their inception through to resolution. It will also enhance risk management and allow your business to understand the effectiveness of the whistleblowing policy that you have in place. And the last one is having training. Training is fundamental to ensuring positive use of the reporting channels available to your employees. If staff are feel too confident in raising concerns in the workplace, they need to know what it means to blow the whistle, what type of concerns that should be reported, and reassurance that they will be protected for making a genuine disclosure. Okay, next, employers' responsibilities in regard to whistleblowing. The first one, recognizing workers are valuable ears and eyes. Workers are often the first people to witness any type of wrongdoing within an organization. The information that workers may uncover could prevent wrongdoing, which may damage an organization's reputation and performance, and could even save people from harm or death. The second one, getting the right culture. If an organization has not created an open and supportive culture, the worker may not feel comfortable making a disclosure for fear of the consequences. The two main barriers whistleblowers face are a fear of reprisal as a result of making a disclosure and that no action will be taken if they do make the decision to blow the whistle. The third one is being able to respond. It is in the organization's best interest to deal with a whistleblowing disclosure when it is first raised by a worker. This allows the organization to investigate promptly, ask further questions of a worker, and where applicable provide feedback. A policy should have explained the benefits of making a disclosure. The third one is better control. Organizations that embrace whistleblowing as an important source of information find that managers have better information to make decisions and control risks. Whistleblowers respond more positively when they feel that they are listened to. And the last one is resolving the wrongdoing quickly. There are benefits for the organization if a worker can make a disclosure internally rather than going to a third party. This way, there is an opportunity to act promptly on the information and put right whatever wrongdoing is found.
Now, I'll be explaining on the type of whistleblower. There are two types of whistleblower, which are internal and external whistleblower. Internal whistleblowing is the most typical type, in which a worker alerts another individual within the company do the wrongdoing, and the whistleblower will report it to the higher authority inside the company without the assistance of any outside authority, and the corporation will internally take the necessary action. As for external whistleblower, it is a reporting the incident to parties outside the organization, such as to a relevant prescribed body. Private or classified information of the company or organization is revealed to an outside authority under these types of whistleblower. This might make it vulnerable to limitation to the outside investigation, and such scenarios frequently result in court litigation. Therefore, between these two types, people frequently employ external whistleblowing because internal mechanisms frequently fall short in dealing with organizational failures.
Now, let's move on to the advantages or pros of whistleblowing. The first benefit is that whistleblowing provides transparency and accountability. Whistleblowing helps company prevents any unlawful activities and undesirable behavior which leads to the efficiency of certain company while keeping a transparent and accountable work environment for all of its employees. Whistleblowing assists in this by allowing the firm to discover of any wrongdoing or fraud well enough in advance. As a result, the problem might be resolved properly before it becomes irrevocable or becomes known to the public in another way. Besides, whistleblowing helps an organization prevent any big scandals from happening in future. A normal organization loses 5% of its income to occupational fraud. However, according to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, fraud losses were 50% lower at organizations with whistleblowing hotlines compared to those without it, because it enables anyone who has interacted with the organization, including external stakeholders, to voice a concern if they see something that they believe breaks any laws or the company's ethical values. It improves the trust of the employees and all the organizations that are directly or indirectly related to the company. Lastly, whistleblowing will minimizes risk and cost. The company might be able to avoid from any legal action, bad company reputation, and financial penalties, as well as reducing cost of fraud. This makes it possible to control the company's risk. There must be a cons to every situation that we are in. Same goes to whistleblowing. There is a downside to whistleblowing as well, as much as it is meant to call out illegal practices. There are few cons or disadvantages of whistleblowing to the individuals and organizations. The first con is whistleblowing may reduce employment prospects. Although an ordinary person would treat a whistleblower as a hero for exposing corruption, industry players and managers may consider whistleblowers as indiscreet and disloyal for exposing company secrets. Also, all the media attention may actually harm the whistleblower because he or she can be blacklisted in their profession in future. Besides, the whistleblowing leads to many complications. Often, the media will dig deeper into the whistleblower's life in an attempt to find something to write about. There are complications that can arise from the legal process or lawsuits, and the whistleblower may be forced to hire an attorney. In addition, sometimes the whistleblower is exposed to threats from all directions, including from their former co-workers and supervisors. Put together, all of these elements can cause a lot of stress that can lead to bad health or even cracks in relationships. The last cons is where whistleblowing process can be lengthy sometimes. From the moment a whistleblower starts working with a lawyer until they receive a financial reward, whistleblowing claims might take several years on average. There is also a possibility of covered up issues since people tend to forget about the incidents after a long period of time, making the whistleblower cases reported left unsolved. Since whistleblowing might affect any person who tried to whistleblow any illegal activities, therefore the government came out with several kinds of protection and initiatives to help the whistleblower and protect them from threats after the incidents. One of the protection given is under the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 WPA. The Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 came into force in Malaysia on 15 December 2010 to facilitate reporting mechanism for whistleblowing and to protect retaliations against whistleblowers. The Act only covers disclosure of improper conduct to a designated enforcement agency or agencies, which includes any ministry department or other bodies set up by the Federal Government of Malaysia, state governments or local governments, Royal Malaysian Police Force, the Malaysian Securities Commissions and the Companies Commissions of Malaysia. The protection of the whistleblowers and any person related to or associated with whistleblowing under Section 7 Part 3 of the Act comes in three forms, which are protection of confidential information. This includes the identity of the whistleblower regarding their residence, his or her occupation and work address, and the identity of the person perpetuating the improper conduct would also be kept in confidence, even during the trial in the court. Besides, the whistleblower will be immune from civil or criminal actions of such disclosure. Whistleblowers are protected from any act prejudicial to the outcome of the reaction disclosures have been made.
As for the current case, I have took the ongoing case of Dyson with their supplier 8A IMS Berhad factory in Malaysia. This began when the former workers at 8A factories in Malaysia had blew the company's labor practices. According to the statement of 7 current and former 8 employees, they said they have worked overtime hours in excess of limit under Malaysian law, and they also claim that many workers live in unsanitary and overcrowded living spaces, and their movement were monitored and restricted. Employees also worked during the public holidays at the 8A plant and on what was supposed to be their rest days. However, 8A has denied all the allegations by the workers and declined to comment on the claims. With effect to that, 8A, which is already being investigated by the United States over forced labor allegation, confirmed that Dyson has terminated its contract with the 8A and that it has been in talk with its customers over the audit findings. The termination is a significant blow for Malaysia, a major electronics manufacturing hub that has faced scrutiny this year over claims migrant workers are being subjected to abusive working and living conditions. In conclusion, Dyson was severing relations with 8A and the case will progress to the UK High Court if the two parties do not arrive at a settlement. Up until now, both cases are still in investigation and the finding will be finalized soon.
To be concluded, whistleblowing is necessary to protect and reassure employees as well as to maintain a pleasing work environment and an effective organization. However, it cannot be denied that whistleblowing has its negative consequences for a business such as a loss of credibility and a decline in customers, which will result in a financial loss. Next, whistleblowing requires the culture of an organization to support and enable the processes, procedures, behaviors, and structures. This is to ensure that whistleblowing provisions are explicit and conveyed to their delivery partners. Last but not least, encouragement policies and processes are important to enhance employee skills and knowledge and ensure they are up to date on current thinking and best practices.